at some point, and then that's going to be.
Okay, we are.
Look, we're live.
We're
Hi.
Hello, everybody. Hello, world. Today, I am the guest interviewer in our series of Artist Circle, the Circle, artists from around the world. We started last week. Kelly has very amazingly made this happen, and she started the circle and she started the page. And also there's I noticed that there's a mentorship program that she started now, which I'm going to join as well. So if you are an artist and you want to be mentored by any of us, you can ask us and we can say yes or no. And maybe we can join forces and, you know, offer each other some help. So without further ado, this is my bestie, my best mate. This is Nikki Cox.
No pressure.
No pressure. I am in California, in South Lake Tahoe, and Nikki is in North Wales, my hometown. And we are going to talk about art and the pandemic and being on lockdown and what it's like to be locked down, and also, you know, being both mothers and how we balance our art life with our, you know, homemaker life, actually, as feminists, as artists, as,
yeah,
you know, all of that. So without further ado, welcome.
Hello. Hello, I'm wearing my sequins. You know, you had advertised it with sequins, so I put them on, not to let it down.
Of course, it's part of you. It's wonderful. I didn't.
It's a bit warm for them, actually.
Join you with them, but no, you look wonderful, and your hair's looking great and all, actually.
Oh yeah, lockdown hair.
Very wild.
The roots are getting massive.
Oh, me too. Oh my God. Like I saw somebody had posted the other day, like in 5 weeks we're going to see what everybody's natural colour is. It's like, oh yeah, totally.
Mine's black. It's like, where did that come from? I used to be blonde, but you know, hey.
Oh, we both used to be when we were in school.
Many moons ago, yeah.
Okay, so on that note, could you introduce yourself? Tell us a little bit about yourself. And
oh my goodness, I hate this bit.
I know, but you're wonderful. Tell us a bit about yourself.
So I'm an artist, went obviously to school with you, known you since I was 11. We've done a lot of art together, haven't we, with college and foundation course, A-levels, GCSEs. I'm an abstracted, I don't know what I'd call myself actually, multimedia artist, work in paint, sculpture, video, printmaking, photography, performance, blah, a bit of everything.
Yeah.
And mother to 3 kids. I don't know, what else do you want to know about me?
Tell us about your gallery, your studio.
Oh, so I've got a studio space just up the road from here, which I'm actually not able to go to at the moment, which is causing issues, which is why I'm surrounded by books and bits of paper and random stuff at the moment, because I'm trying to do bits of work from home, which is nigh on impossible because obviously not able to travel to get to the studio. So it's kind of just over there. And I feel like, oh my goodness, all my paints and the things I could be doing are almost in reach, but not quite. And I've got a gallery space at the front that I kind of do the odd pop-up show in, and I work out the back, which is just heaven because it's just me, my space, my loud music, and annoying the neighbours. And yeah, just it's my little sanctuary.
Yeah, it's interesting that we both use that term sanctuary quite a lot with reference to our creativity and our inner worlds. And you know, I think the more I talk to other artists about their spaces and how they work, the sanctuary comes up quite a lot, actually, doesn't it?
I think that probably comes from the fact, especially when you have a sort of a fragmented life with where you've got different heads, and I think that sometimes often is where a woman fits more than a guy, although I'm sure there are guys out there doing lots of different things and having lots of different Wurzel Gummidge heads. But from a woman's point of view, the majority of women I know fall into the category of mother, wife, daughter, you know, picking up for the grandparents and parents-in-law, working, trying to be an artist, trying to be a parent, trying to be a friend. You know, it's that kind of, oh, who am I in this minute? What have I got to do? And you kind of squeeze your art very often into part of your day. And therefore, your studio does become your sanctuary, doesn't it? Because it's your one space where you can just go and be you and make your work and just think about that and not have to think, oh, I've got to get the dinner on, or I need to go and pick so-and-so up, and I've got to just do whatever it is that you need to do.
Yeah, absolutely. Interestingly, I was talking to my mum this morning, and she's living with Sean, my brother at the moment, who's an artist too, and actually they're all painting right now, which is kind of wonderful. And we were talking about sort of interrupting each other and stuff like that, and how, you know, I've had to really sort of talk, you know, to basically teach my family, Taylor, you know, my husband and daughter, how to be with me when I'm working, because my studio is like right in the middle of the house. Normally there it's, you know, work and school, so I don't have to, you know, deal with that normally. And I was describing it to Mum that it's like being woken up from a dream when you get interrupted from your work, because when you're in there, and it's like meditation as well, it's like you're fully in there, and it's like you're exploring this other world, aren't you? And it is kind of like a dream, I feel like.
Well, I've got a friend who is a solution-based hypnotherapist, and she's actually talked to me about this, and she was saying they've done quite a lot of research with artists, and that point of when they're working is they go into that theta brainwave state, which is meditation and REM sleep pattern. So actually, when we're working, and we call it that flow or the zone or whatever it is, it's that point where you're kind of, I don't know, flatline, not flatline, I don't know, but you're in this space, which is, I suppose we get that high from it. And we automatically do that, as when you are, she was saying, when you go into hypnotherapy, you are put into that theta space that artists naturally go into. And we were talking about how often artists do struggle with depression and anxiety. And she was saying she wonders what would happen if she dealt with artists and put them into a more optimistic and sort of mindset, and to deal with their depression. Would it change their work? Because of course, when we go into work, we stuff, don't we? And if you're regurgitating that stuff, in a way you're compounding that depressive state of mind, because you're in that theta brainwave, which is a hypnotherapy solution-based one. They try and change that mindset. So it is a funny pattern, isn't it? And I was saying, well, I don't know if I'd want to have put myself up for that to be changed, because actually, would I then, would my work change? Would I like it as much? I don't know. It's one of those questions. Maybe we all need to put ourselves forward to be guinea pigs.
I don't know, because in the past I've always thought, oh, you know, without my demons, you know, who am I, kind of thing. But as I get older, and the more I meditate and commit to a more positive outlook on life, you know, the paintings are definitely changing. Like, I'm embracing the river, whereas I haven't been ready to do it until now. And I'd always thought, oh, my work is going to go really blah if I'm happier. You know, I'll have nothing to plumb from. There'll be no depth in it anymore. But actually, it's okay. You know, it is still. I think it's still working anyway. I don't think my work's gone to hell in a handbasket.
No, I don't think it has at all. Not at all. No, and you know, I'm somebody who's very much an optimist, and I always try and look on the sunny side of life. Because if I don't, I literally don't want to get out of bed. So I have to look for the light, and I think that's probably that flip side to me, is where things like wearing the stupid sequins, painting in the neon colours, or know, using glitter and just being like that bloody magpie who's just, glitter, shine, colour, ooh. And I think that's, it just gets me every time. And I think that's the flip side too. So I look for that to put the other bit away almost.
That's interesting. It is really interesting because like we're such good friends, and yet we're so kind of opposite in that way.
Well, you're really earthy. You use all those earthy colours and those kind of nature and the source and kind of really grounded. And I'm almost in the sky. With the glitter ball dancing above my head.
Well, I think that's why we make a good team in a way.
It's balance, yin and yang.
Because which is awesome, you know. And after all these years, because like you know, a bit out loud now, we're 44.
Oh well, no, I'm 45 actually.
Oh, when was you born?
It was December. But it was December, but actually I couldn't remember whether I was 46, 45 or was I 47. And it was like, I don't think it matters after 21, apart from when your face starts sliding off and then you kind of go, I could do with a bit of a chin lift. But it's just a number, isn't it?
It's just a number. Yeah, because I think once we've got kids, it's like keep tabs on their age, because that's what's important, really.
I know, but they're the catalogue, aren't they? That you kind of look at them and go, oh my God, you're nearly in double figures, my smallest. Yeah. How did that happen?
Yeah.
You know, what have I done in the last 9 years? That's nearly a decade.
Yeah.
You know?
It is interesting, isn't it? And I feel like the older Dylan gets, because I can remember, you know, when I was her age now and everything.
Yeah.
So it kind of like a little bit of time traveling, isn't it? And then you kind of see sort of the origins of certain traits that I still have. I mean, especially art, you know, because we're talking about it. And, you know, the moments when I first realised that that's what I was going to do, that's who I am, because I know that I was searching for a long time going, who am I? You know, what am I going to do?
Yeah.
And so when did you have that moment? Did you have a moment?
I suppose I grew up in a really creative household. So, you know, my parents were always knocking buildings around, building stuff, plumbing, electrics, redecorating, soft furnishings. You know, I'd go to school one day and I'd come home and my mum will have painted the room a different colour and run up curtains for it, you know, and you go, oh, okay, it's a new house. I used to have a friend, do you remember Tim? He used to say that mum used to get up in the middle of the night with a torch and a pot of paint, and she'd go around painting the house in the middle of the night, and we'd get up to different colours. Because every time he'd come around, he'd be like, I'm sure this room was blue last time I was here. It's green now. So, yeah, I grew up in, you know, with really creative aunts, a lot of music, a lot of art, design, so I think I never questioned not doing something creative, really. And I suppose as a kid, I was always drawing, painting, colouring in. Do you remember those little tiny pictures you'd buy with, like, the Galt shop that had those books with all the tiny little triangles all together? And I spent hours colouring in between the lines, which is really odd considering the way I work now, is all this explosion and pushing out from the lines and not very formed. And I would spend hours with these tiny shapes, and then my sister would come along and was younger than me and no real interest, just wanted to get involved with what I was doing, and my mum would be like, oh, let her have a go, and she'd just come out and I wasn't allowed to shout about it. Oh, yes. So my hard work. So you'd have all these beautiful books with like half beautifully done pictures, and then the scribbles where my sister had attacked them. So, yeah, I always wanted to do it. And I know when we had those careers days where you had to speak to those people and say, you know, fill in the form, and they'd tell you what you could do. And I remember saying, well, I want to do something with art. And this guy turned around to me and went, oh, you don't want to do art. That's for thick people. You want to do something like nursing or be a solicitor. And I'm like, no. Have you looked around you at what is created and designed by people? You're dreadful tight. I was quite cocky as a young girl. Your dreadful tie has been designed by somebody. The pen in your hand has been designed by somebody. Your mug has been designed by someone. Even the chair that you're sat on and the table that you're leaning on. These are all creative people. Yes, it's quite mind-numbing creativity what they've created, because it's kind of like that community space stuff with schools. But it's all been thought about by somebody who probably went to art college. And the world is designed and created by artists and musicians. Anything that you're interested in, and this goes to the lockdown thing, isn't it?
Yeah.
You know, we're all sat in our homes looking for something, and we're lucky we can just make, and it's just an instinctive thing. So we're not actually looking to teach ourselves, particularly with things. It's just an automatic go-to for us. But, you know, people are picking up books written by people, listening to music made by people, looking at films, TV programs made by, you know, they're all creative things, artwork. People are buying artwork, they're looking at clothing, you know, it's all from the creative arts. It's a massive thing, and it's the thing that I think feeds our souls. It's that creativity, isn't it?
Oh, yeah.
So, yes, of course, I didn't want to go and do something else. I wanted to go and be an artist.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, me too. Once I realised, it was like, no, there's no alternative.
Yeah.
But, you know, I remember there was one point when my dad said to me, I'm really proud of you. You've chosen one of the most difficult jobs in the world to make money on, and you're doing it. You're making money, you know. And I was sort of like, oh, you know, couldn't have said anything nicer, really. You know, because it is hard to make money from, and there's a thing that I read about with artists that they have a hard time selling the work, and it's the imposter syndrome, that you think that somehow, you know, you're a fraud and you're conning people into giving them money for what you do. And
I think that's a woman's thing as well. We all have that as women, that imposter syndrome and that winging it. And, you know, will they find out? I don't think many men suffer from it, or they certainly don't talk about it. Women talk about it a lot.
Yeah, I guess so. Because we just talk a lot more, just generally, don't we?
Generally. Put it out there on the table, and it's that connection with people, isn't it? That kind of, well, and also I'm a big sharer, so I'm like, it's all there on a plate. Pick through it. Nothing's hidden.
Yeah.
And it's, you know, other people then go, oh, yeah, actually, I feel like that. And it's not just me then. I'm quite glad about that.
Yeah. I mean, there's that sort of sense of it's a communal thing. Like, and I think, you know, as I said in the last interview, that this pandemic, I think, has really rammed it home that we are literally all connected. I mean, you know, with human beings, but to nature, and, you know, because animals are getting it now too.
Yeah.
You know, and they probably always did. And, you know, it's like, well, you know, are we we're connected to the trees, to the river, to the sky, to the, you know, it's passing through the air. I mean, it's like right across this, it's being demonstrated that we all literally are connected, and we're all in the same boat, even though we feel very isolated right now.
I'm hoping the thing it brings is that it brings a sense of nobody's better than anybody else, and everybody has a place in this world. And my dad always said, you know, nobody's better than anybody else. Well, everybody has a really important part to play within the circle of life. And if the cleaner doesn't clean the operating theatre, the brain surgeon can't do his job. So nobody in that scheme of things is better than somebody else. And I think it's made everybody realise how important the care service is. You know, who knew that going to Tesco's and stacking shelves and, you know, serving people food and trying to chat to people and make their day a little bit better would be frontline stuff, you know. And people are so dismissive of people working in shops and people who are cleaning, and, oh, you're just, you know, and know that everybody is so important. And I hope this brings that up to people's attention, that actually, you know, we all have an important part to play in life, and looking after life as well, looking after each other and looking after the planet that we're on.
Yeah.
We're custodians.
isn't it? It's about that respect and maybe more mindfulness too.
Yeah.
You know, bringing, you know,
A
awareness
slower
to,
pace of life.
yeah, yes, slower pace of life. Because like right now, I find myself really compelled to like bake bread, and
Yeah.
I always cook from scratch anyway because I have to. But, I've got food sensitivities and that. But our meals are getting more and more kind of elaborate sort of thing, and using more and not
Using
wasting.
things, yeah.
Not wasting anything. The leftovers get eaten now instead of like festering in the fridge
Yeah.
because I can't warming them up and I want something different. It's like, oh no, I'm not going to waste that, and mindful of wasting not wasting anything. So
Yeah, it
I'm
feels like
hoping.
the evening meal feels like a Ready Steady Cook episode.
Yes.
Do you remember that program? These random items. What are we going to do with them? How are we going to make a meal?
It's like a cucumber, a squash, some chicken and some biscuits. Like,
Yeah.
create a three-course meal out of
You
the
need
thing. Like, oh,
to
okay.
open the fridge and have Ainsley Harriott pop out.
Or Jamie Oliver.
Or Jamie O. Yeah, we all need Jamie O.
Lovely Jamie. Yeah. I did go to his site actually, because he's doing that program now, isn't he? That cooking
Yes.
from
Cook
not
from
much.
Yeah.
And I made the pea pesto, and it is
That
amazing.
is delicious. Yeah, no, it is. The kids really liked that the other night. They got involved with the cooking after seeing that program.
Yeah, no, it's great, and get involving the kids and stuff. Finding Dylan wanting to cook more and do stuff like that. So I think there's a lot of really positive things that can come out of this, and community spirit as well. Is very much alive, and
yeah, I think so.
Yeah,
I hope so.
Yeah.
I just hope it carries on.
Me too. Yeah, I really do. So just to come in towards finishing up. So,
we rambled. Ramble.
So, do you have any tips to offer other artist mothers at this time?
Gosh, no, in that sense, not a huge amount, because I've had to make the decision to go part-time on my MA course because I'm finding it really difficult to kind of find the space and the time to actually do much making, and also with really limited facilities at home, it kind of means that my work's quite compromised in that sense. It's not where I'm wanting to go with it to finish the course, so I've gone part-time on that. But I am doing smaller things, and I'm doing quite a lot of collage and things like that, which is quite easy, and it's kind of easy to clear up, and it's not hugely messy, and I don't need to have huge spaces to put out 10-foot paintings or whatever. It's kind of, it can be contained, and also the kids can get involved if they want to. But I am doing while I'm here. I will say I'm doing this project. It's #FemaleKind. It's a postcard thing. So what I'm trying to do is sending out a bit of love on snail mail to people who kind of sum up that female kind thing to you, be it somebody who's nurtured you, supported you, picked you through the mud or whatever, who's inspired you. Oh, and anything that you fancy and you just want to say thanks or well done you, or I'm amazed by your strength or your courage, whatever it is, and to draw something or paint something or collage something, whatever you like, on the front of the postcard, send it out to the person that you want to say thanks to, get them to take a photo with it, and then hashtag it up on Instagram and tag me on @NikkiCottonArtist or at What Does an Artist Do All Day, and I can then share it. And it would just be, I just think it's a really nice project to do at this time when we're all kind of stuck in, and we're not, we're all relying on that virtual thing and that virtual connection, aren't we? But to have that tangible thing that you can kind of read and touch, and it comes through the post and you get to keep it afterwards, and it's a little reminder of a time where we were without contact.
Yeah, I think that's a really wonderful idea, and I'm going to be doing it too. So,
yay! Well, no, I was thinking, if I send you something, will it ever get there? At the moment, I don't know, because I don't know whether planes are allowed to be delivering. I don't know what the latest on that is.
I don't know. I've got some international stamps and I'm going to pop it in.
Okay, well, let's try it anyway. You might get it in 6 months' time, but you know.
I might get there first. Yeah. I hope so. Any other tips for balancing life?
Yeah, it is just a case of carving out that time for yourself and try and either involve the kids if it makes it easier, or try and just kind of go, please give me just an hour, maybe 2, although it's at the moment it's really difficult. It's snatch time, isn't it? But once you start doing it, it does get easier. It's once you let it slide, which is what I've done in the last couple of weeks, because we've been trying to just juggle things and find our feet with things. It is difficult to claw that time back for yourself.
Yeah, it is.
But you know,
keep holding that space, isn't it?
I know, yeah, it's tricky.
Holding space quite a lot in different contexts, but it's true. Sometimes, like a corner in your house, it's just for art, and that's nice. That's nice space.
I know. Well, that's my little corner of the kitchen at the moment that I'm sat in. It's like, I feel like a hermit crab.
I have to say, can you show people at home what your telephone looks like?
Oh,
you might have to move.
I might have to turn it around. Can you see it?
Old school phone.
It's an actual. Hello. The bat phone. If you're propped up on the bat phone.
I'm propped up. Oh, that's wonderful. I love that I'm propped up on the bat phone. Well,
that's one of my small people who's not so small. Yeah. It's my middle one. He's now hiding in the corner.
Don't film me.
I know, yeah.
Oh, it's been really wonderful to talk to you.
And you.
Thanks for sharing everything. So tell us about who you are interviewing next to carry on the search.
I am interviewing a London artist who is a lady I've met on Instagram, Sharon, who does the most spectacular collages that she cuts out with a scalpel. He's washing his hands. I know we should be washing hands, but really, whilst we're doing this. She does it with a scalpel with these stunning photos and magazine images that she finds, and then she blows them up on these big A2, A1 pieces. They're just absolutely beautiful. And I have been, she and I have been trying to meet actually in real life for a good year and a half. And then we've gone, let's do a FaceTime, and we never get round to it. So we're doing it next week. So it's the first time we can actually chat as well. So it's going to be, I can't wait. She's just a really fabulous woman.
Sweet. Oh, this is going to be great. And then she will interview somebody
else.
Country as well. And then
I don't know whether it's going to be a different country. I don't know yet. I'll kind of see who she's got in mind. I don't know, because I know I've chosen somebody from the UK. So, but she's from London. So
we'll link it back eventually, because it's going to be 10 artists, and it'll link back to Kelly eventually. So so we will hope to go around the world a little bit.
Okay, all right.
So see if you can encourage to go.
See who she knows in her portfolio. Somebody, she'll have somebody in her Rolodex.
Yeah, the Rolodex, the Instagram.
I know. Yeah, that's an old one, isn't it?
All right. Well, I'll leave you to it. Go and carve out some time.
Thank you. Thank you. Well, yeah, dinner time almost here. I've got to get the dinner in the oven and deal with the rabble.
Yes. All right. Well,
take care.
Love you.
Bye.
Bye.